Good morning. It's so lovely to be back with you all again, and I was just amazed at the robust Zoom congregation too. Hope you guys all feel welcome and part of the room here. Our reading this morning is a poem by Mary Oliver. It's called Don't Hesitate. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give in to it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not often very kind, and much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is life's way of fighting back, that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or the power in the world. Could be anything, but very likely you notice it in the instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb. This, in the Soul Matters materials that the church uses this month, is about cultivating gratitude. Surprise, it's November. And when I started thinking about a sermon on the cultivation of gratitude, I knew I didn't want to be speaking pious platitudes about being thankful for all that we have. On the one hand, at this time of year, gratitude is everywhere, and thankfully so. It's the time of year when we're all collectively mindful of the energy that we feel when we take an inventory of the blessings that we enjoy. But Old Testament professor Patricia Tull reminds us that gratitude can also be in danger of becoming a somewhat self-satisfied reflection on how one's station in life exceeds that of the less fortunate. Something to be careful of. Nonetheless, our National Day of Thanksgiving approaches. It's a secular holiday proclaimed by a U.S. president. And it's ironic, I think, that in 1789, George Washington proclaimed a National Day of Thanks for November 26th to celebrate the establishment of a new Constitution. Years later, in 1863, Abraham Lincoln established the fourth Thursday in November as a national holiday, creating the continuous annual celebration that we know today. So it's a secular holiday. For many, it has become a challenge to celebrate the day consciously, because it's painful to acknowledge that for Indigenous people, it's a day of mourning. It's challenging to celebrate when we can't begin to know how many families and individuals will struggle just to put food on the table this year. Not everyone can feel gratitude on a particular day. So while Thanksgiving is not a religious holiday, there will be religious services around the country that will often include rituals in the congregation for people to offer thanks for specific things. The traditional elements of Thanksgiving meal become a source of ritual in different families, whether the meal includes rice, mashed potatoes, stovetop stuffing, or maybe made from scratch with chestnuts, pumpkin pie, mince, apple. Done well, all the rituals that surround the day can be powerful moments for families, ones that encourage us to name the people, the places, the things, the life happenings that we might not otherwise acknowledge in gratitude. But when the ritual meal has been consumed, the leftover stuffing and the cranberry sauce are safely stored in the fridge. The big game is history. Then, so what? It's a question that must be answered, because simply being thankful, feeling gratitude, is not the end game for people of faith. There has to be a deeper meaning than just enjoying hot turkey sandwiches a little bit later in the week. So my meanderings around the traditions around Thanksgiving and gratitude and gratefulness took me to some mystical places like this one from Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch. He wrote this: "One glorious chain of love, of giving and receiving, unites all things. All things exist in continuous, reciprocal activity, one for all for one. None has the power or the means for itself. Each gives only to receive, and find therein the fulfillment of the purpose of existence." This poem took my ruminations about gratitude to another level, and I wondered what it might be like to offer the poem as a sort of table grace at our Thanksgiving table this year. Where might that poem take us? One glorious chain of love, of giving and receiving that unites all things. I'm into the rabbis this morning, you'll notice. Rabbi Marcia Prager wrote a little book titled The Path of Blessing, and she shared this little vignette from her life. She wrote, "Once at a restaurant, I sat near a decorative copper fountain in the form of a delicate tree with many leaves. Its water percolated from a thin pipe in the center and splashed out the top. Each leaf, like a cup, collected water and overflowed, spilling to the leaf below. The fountain tingled as drops descended, splashing from leaf to leaf. At the base, a well gathered the fallen drops into a pool, circulating them back to the top to begin their descent once more. This little fountain was only restaurant decor, but it offered me an aha moment. As I fill from an ever-flowing well, I too can give back without lacking." The notion that permeates both of these brief encounters with gratitude is that gratitude is an open and interactive system of energy. Gratitude is a deep well that is always in the process of both giving and receiving. The rabbinical words invite us to consider that celebrating and feeling gratitude for what we have, what we enjoy in the way of a comfortable life with enough food on the table and shelter over our heads, that's not the end process of gratitude. It's just the beginning. It's a source of energy that goes on and on. So we might contrast that with the political culture we live in today, where the guiding principle is not mutuality and sharing, but accumulation, where success is measured not by what you contribute, but by how much you extract, where the goal is not to create space for everyone, but to trample on people in order to gain more space for oneself. It's a culture where the harvest is not shared, but grabbed and locked away, where moth and rust destroy while people are starving and pounding on the doors, where one individual can hoard more wealth than millions combined, and yet still wake up gripped by the fear that someone, somewhere, might pluck a grape from their overstuffed vine. Those words are from Christy Berghoff in her Wheat and Willow blog. This culture in which we live now is one where gratitude has gone missing. There's no giving thanks, and not only has gratitude gone missing, so have mercy and justice and compassion. As a community of faith with its roots in social justice and caring for the planet, we're called to move into and through the world differently. So our celebrations necessarily move us from feeling gratitude to doing gratitude. We're called to move from being thankful, from feeling grateful, to expressing gratitude in ways that honor those things for which we are grateful. Things that bring kindness and mercy and justice and generosity and hospitality back into the picture where it's gone missing. I personally might think about it this way. I am grateful that our families made it here, mine from uncertainty in Northern Ireland years ago. Armin's family from the threat of genocide in Armenia. They made it here in order to make a life in the United States. So in gratitude, I want to stand in solidarity with those immigrants who are struggling to do the same thing today. I'm grateful that I am privileged to live in a secure home that we own. So, in gratitude, I want to support Harbor Homes and island efforts to make affordable housing more available to more people. I'm grateful for the many loving relationships that I enjoy. So in gratitude, I want to extend my own energies in a loving and compassionate way. You're probably already starting the list of things that you're grateful for and how you would do that gratitude in the world. Gratitude is another of the fundamental virtues that becomes a source of resistance when we're not always sure what to do next in the world we live in now. As a gentle source of resistance, gratitude permits a spark of justice to grow into a flame. Again, from Reverend Patricia Toole that I started with, she writes, "Gratitude counteracts despair. It is fullness without greed. It is expectancy without envy. It is wonder outpacing worry. Gratitude is restfulness in the midst of all we rightly wish to improve. And it is reflection on what is already mending." I like this one the best. Gratitude gives us strength to change what obstructs joy for others. It reminds us to encourage those who radiate delight. It provides the supporting bass notes for the melodies we create with our daily activities. Gratitude directs our efforts towards larger goods. So I want to close with another poem by Mary Oliver. One anonymous online commentator on her work notes this: "Gratitude is a theme threaded through virtually all of Mary Oliver's work, in one way or another, explicit or implicit. At its heart, the way of life to which she often calls her readers is, among other things, a grateful life." And in this poem, she concludes with a dazzling suggestion that the act of gratitude itself is part of what makes or completes a particular act of gift giving, so that indeed the gift has been given. In other words, without gratitude, all we have is mere possession or use or theft or entitlement or taking a thing for granted. Close quote. In this sense, the more thankful we are, the more gifts appear in our lives, the more we are able to do gratitude in the world. The more we do our part to bring a new balance and make it possible to change what obstructs the joy for others, then others might receive the gift of gratitude and in turn pass the gift on. Mary Oliver. "Be still, my soul, and steadfast. Earth and heaven both are still watching, though time is draining from the clock, and your walk, that was confident and quick, has become slow. So be slow if you must, but let the heart still play its true part. Love still as you once loved, deeply and without patience. Let God and the world know you are grateful that the gift has been given." May all our Thanksgiving be blessed with both feeling and doing gratitude. So be it. Our hymn is a familiar tune and a familiar words for the beauty of the earth.
Yes, I just wanted to say one thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Reverend Vicky Hanjian gives us so much to reflect on, and the messages are always so timely, and I'm very grateful for you. I needed to say that.
Hymn number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
So we have a closing prayer. The words are in your order service. A Buddhist daily prayer, and we're going to read it together. With gratitude, we remember the people, animals, plants, insects, creatures of the sky and sea, air and water, fire and earth, all whose joyful exertion blesses our lives every day. With gratitude, we remember the care and labor of 1,000 generations of elders and ancestors who came before us. We offer gratitude for the safety and well-being we have been given. We offer gratitude for the blessings of this earth we have been given. We offer gratitude for the measures of health we have been given. We offer gratitude for the community and friends we have been given. We offer gratitude for the community we have been given. We offer gratitude for the teachings and lessons we have been given. We offer gratitude for the life we have been given. Thank you.
Hear these parting words of benediction. They're adapted from a blessing by John O'Donoghue of blessed memory. It's called On Waking. May you give thanks for arriving safely in a new dawn, for the gift of eyes to see the world, the gift of mind to feel at home in your life, the waves of possibility breaking on the shore of dawn, the harvest of the past that awaits your hunger, and all the furtherings that this new day will bring. May you give thanks. Go in peace and gratitude to do gratitude in the world. So be it.